Christian Bale returns to anime. I bet you didn't even know he had been there before. But before we dive into it, hi, my name is Jacob Airy. Welcome to the StudioJake vidcast where I talk about all things pop culture, from anime to television to film and so much more. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, leave me a comment. And on that subscribe note, I am trying to reach 1,000 subs. I'm over 970, so I'm almost there. If you help me out, I would really appreciate it. When I reach my goal, I'm going to do a live stream where you can ask me anything. I'll be taking questions from the YouTube chat. Okay, so let's dive into it. For those of you unfamiliar, Studio Ghibli a while ago made an animated film called Howl's Moving Castle, and it was about a young woman named Sophie who becomes kind of entangled in this journey that a wizard called Howl Pendragon is on. And Christian Bale actually was the voice of Howl. It was one of his best roles that he had done as far as voice acting. He had done voice acting before, but to me and several other Studio Ghibli fans, that English dub is top notch. There have been some really bad dubs with a lot of these Studio Ghibli films. There have been ones where they have cut the film almost completely. They've chopped it up. There have been ones where the dubs were just bad. One of my favorite Studio Ghibli films is A Castle in the Sky, and the first English dub of it was really poor. They got a ton of younger actors, so they made the characters sound way younger than they were, which only made some of the scenes in the movie feel weird. But then the same company that dubbed it for several of their films, if I couldn't go through all of them, they did a proper dub of A Castle in the Sky, and same with Howl's Moving Castle. They did a fantastic job with it, and Christian Bale was fantastic as Howl Pendragon, and I highly recommend Howl's Moving Castle. It is not just for anime enthusiasts. You can enjoy it if you are into fantasy fiction. You can enjoy it if you're an animation enthusiast. Studio Ghibli is kind of like Disney, if Disney was still the way it was in the Disney Renaissance. Not all their films are perfect by any stretch of the means, but when it comes to animated feature films, it's hard to beat Studio Ghibli. And they're returning with a new film from Hayao Miyazaki, and it's called The Boy and the Heron. So this is from GKids. They are the company that is producing the dub as well as releasing the movie theatrically into theaters. So this is according to them. Hayao Miyazaki's first feature film in 10 years, The Boy and the Heron, is a hand-drawn original story written and directed by the Academy Award-winning director. Produced by Studio Ghibli co-founder Toshio Suzuki, the film features a musical score from Miyazaki's longtime collaborator, Joe Hisaishi. The theme song for the film's Spinning Globe was penned and performed by global J-pop superstar Kenshi Yonezu. So, and by the way, if I'm pronouncing anyone's name, please, please let me know in the comment section below. I mean, no disrespect. So this is sort of the introduction to the film. This is basically its tagline. It says, a young man named Mahito, yearning for his mother, ventures into a world shared by the living and the dead. Their death comes to an end and life finds a new beginning. A semi-autobiographical fantasy about life, death, and creation, and tribute to friendship from the mind of Hayao Miyazaki. So it sounds fantastic. If you haven't seen the trailer, I highly recommend it. And just the other day, they announced the English dub cast, and it looks pretty good. Luca Padovin from You, the Netflix show, he is voicing the main character. And listen, this is a star-studded cast. You've got Florence Pugh is going to voice a character. Robert Pattinson, who was most recently in The Batman. I think maybe he's been in a movie since then, but The Batman. Mark Hamill, the voice of the Joker. He's also a returning Studio Ghibli voice actor. He voiced the villain in The Castle in the Sky. Karen Fukuhara will be in it. Willem Dafoe, another returning Studio Ghibli English dub voice actor. He was in Tales of Earthsea, very underrated in my opinion. Gemma Chan, I believe she was also in a Studio Ghibli film. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I want to say I've seen her in a credit list, but I can't place the film she voiced in. Dave Bautista, whatever. It's Dave Bautista. He does his Dave Bautista thing, but at top billing, I actually read that backwards. The main character was towards the bottom of the list. We have at the top Christian Bale as Shochi Maki. And I have to say, that is really good advertising by GKids because they also have the Japanese cast, and it's got some incredible Japanese actors and voice actors on here. Soma Sentaki will be voicing Mahito, and Takuya Kimura will be voicing Shokimaki, the same character that Christian Bale is doing. And I plan on seeing this in both versions. I've done that with several of the films. I tend to lean more to the dub because I do like hearing the story in my own language. That's just a personal preference. It's got nothing to do with anything, but I do like watching films in their original languages so I can get a better understanding. But when it comes to this one, I have a feeling that a lot of fans will be booking tickets to see Christian Bale return to anime. And like I said, he's done voice acting in the past, but just when it comes to Studio Ghibli male protagonist, Christian Bale just nailed it as Howl Pendragon, and I can't... Now, he's not going to be the protagonist in this film. He's, like I said, he's voicing Shochimaki, and I don't know his role since I haven't seen the movie yet, but I do plan on seeing this in theaters. I am so freaking excited about this. Christian Bale has had such a stellar career as an actor. He's a good actor. He was in American Hustle. He, of course, played Batman in Batman Begins, The Dark Knight, and The Dark Knight Rises. And, it's kind of cool that he's going to be doing it with Robert Pattinson, who is going to be taking over the Batman, which it's no one knows, but some people have said it's out of continuity for the new DCU. Some people say it's in continuity. No one knows or at this point cares, I think. But it is cool to see two Batman villains and Mark Hamill as a Joker actor being in the show. I think that's pretty cool. But I think Christian Bale is going to do a good job. Like I said, he's really good as Patrick Bateman as American Psycho. I thought the movie was a little overrated. Everyone just goes goo goo gaga over it, but I kind of felt like that it was overrated. It's Christian Bale playing Tom Cruise for 90 minutes or however long the film is, but I guess some people can find some enjoyment in it. I actually thought he was good as John Connor in the Terminator movie he was in. It was certainly better than the ones that came after. But I get it. It's, there was a lot of studio interference when that film was being made, and you just can tell, honestly. But Christian Bale, I thought, was a good actor for the role of John Connor, and he did a fantastic job in my opinion. That being said, I am really excited for The Boy and the Heron. It's about time Studio Ghibli came back. I know they kind of, for some reason, they had like huge gaps. So they did Greta Earwig and the Witch, I think is what it's called. I haven't seen that one. I heard people were kind of disappointed in it, especially because it's 3D animation. Studio Ghibli tends to do traditional 2D animation. And a couple of times they've experimented with doing watercolor animation, but 3D, it just seems so out of place with them. So, like I said, I haven't seen it yet. Maybe it's good. I don't know. Maybe I'll give it a try before I go see The Boy and the Heron, just to lower my expectations so they can get blown away when I see this movie. Who knows? Maybe I'll watch Greta and I'll think it's fantastic. I don't know. I could be wrong. You never know how these things go. But whatever the case may be, I'm glad Hayao Miyazaki has returned. He is fantastic. I remember one time I made a statement about visionary directors and how rare they are, and someone pointed out Hayao Miyazaki, and I waved the white flag. I was like, you're right, Hayao Miyazaki as an animator is a true visionary. He really knows his craft. He really knows how to bring characters to life. He really knows how to bring stories to life. And one of the things I love about Miyazaki is that he can find beauty in the mundane. Something here in the West we tend to, take for granted. Just having a slice of pizza, even doing chores. We can find them boring and whatnot, but Hayao Miyazaki loves to highlight just that collective beauty and just being human. And I think that's something very special. I think that's something amazing. And I look forward to seeing The Boy and the Heron and Christian Bale returning to anime. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that you'll give it a thumbs up, that you'll leave me a comment, tell me what you think, that you'll share it out with your friends, and of course, consider subscribing to Studio Jake. I cover all kinds of nerd and pop culture topics, including film, television, anime, comic books, and so much more. I hope that you'll also head over to my main website, StudioJakeMedia.com, where I have even more news, views, and commentary. Also, if you'd like to support the channel, head over to my locals page. That's studiojakemedia.locals.com. It's the best way to support me. I'm trying to build a little community there. I have exclusive reviews and articles, so definitely head over there and check it out. And I'll see you next time, right here on Studio Jake.